Over Harry's betrayal, William explodes in anger at King Charles. It's time to get even with Sussex. As a result of Harry's behaviour, William is furious with King Charles. Reported tensions between King Charles and Prince William over the wayward royal are growing. To all our loyal viewers, we say a hearty hello and welcome back to the news channel dedicated to all things related to royal family news update. Since Windsor fathers have historically gotten along with their eldest sons about as well as Fergie does at Wordle, I am willing to bet that you won't find many tattered old Father's Day cards in the vast attics of Balmoral, Sandringham, and Buckingham Palace. For the most part, Edward VII did not spend much time raising the future harsh George V because he was too busy frequenting his favourite Parisian brothel, and shagging Winston Churchill's mum. Later, he really went for David, aka Edward VIII, while he referred to Bertie, aka George VI, as a ugly duckling. Meanwhile, Prince Philip reportedly sent his son, the future King Charles, to a Scottish boarding school His Majesty dubbed Colditz in kilts because Philip thought Charles was too weak. Although Charles and Prince William's descendants seem to have miraculously bucked this dismal trend in recent years. On Father's Day of 2020, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge posted a photo to their social media accounts, attracting the attention of royal trinespotters, the Twitter algorithm, and, presumably, the late Queen. William put his arm around his father in the photo, which Kate took, showing a level of Windsor affection usually reserved for dogs or a round of plum duff. Queen Victoria must have been turning in her grave at the sight of these two future monarchs embracing with such an outlandish display of affection. However, the father-son bond may be in jeopardy now that there is a growing chorus of warnings that Charles and William are at loggerheads over the tricky question of what the hell to do with Harry and Meghan Markle. Let's revisit that Father's Day photo to see how we got here. One of the strangest outcomes of the Sussexes' abrupt departure from the royal compound to enjoy the benefits of West Coast living and self-financing their electricity bills was, allegedly, the reconciliation of Princes Charles and William. It's been reported that the two men have been feuding for years, if not decades. The Times claims William has inherited his father's irascibility. In contrast, rumors of a renaissance between William and Charles surfaced after Harry and Meghan's January 2020 Instagram resignation post caused chaos. The Times royal editor Roya Nikha was told by a friend in 2021 that the two men had suffered under the strains imposed by the system over the years, including financial difficulties, professional rivalries, and the loss of Princess Diana. As William has grown closer to his father, he has begun to recognize the many ways in which they are alike. Their shared fate becomes a heavier burden and a source of closer bonding as it draws nearer. Despite the distance caused by Harry, they've grown close. Since then, Charles and William appear to have grown even closer. Imagine a touching montage of princely hugs in elegant drawing rooms and the two men spending rainy Sundays facing off over a Monopoly set designed specifically for the monarchy, in which all the properties are Grace and Favour homes. I rolled a 6 Pascals, I get Fort Belvedere. Then, however, Harry's autobiography Spare appeared, a strange mix of heartbreaking loss, petty recrimination, and a tedious middle section about his time in the military. Its release has more than a touch of the postmodern Cromwell about it, with its scathing depiction of the royal family and the inner workings of the firm. The ominous music cue should rise now that reports indicate a rift between His Majesty and his eldest son over the best course of action to take. The Daily Mail and Vanity Fair have both reported that the 74-year-old wants his younger son inside Westminster Abbey for his big day and is considering calling in the Archbishop of Canterbury to do a spot of transatlantic negotiating. According to Katie Nicholl of Vanity Fair, a source close to the king said that he will invite the Sussexes because it is the right thing to do and will hopefully pave the way for peace. Unlike his pa, however, William allegedly has a more difficult time accepting the importance of love, forgiveness, and unity. Well, Charles does have friends among the Dalai Lamas. Some of the most devastating information in Spare pertains directly to the Prince of Wales, which may explain why he isn't quite ready to throw in the towel. A bookselling prodigy, his younger brother paints William as a violent bully who doesn't give a hoot about Harry's attachment to his facial hair. Despite the fact that Harry unintentionally reveals Willie to be quite the caring older brother, at one point grabbing Harold's shirt and saying, "Listen to me, Harold, listen. Harold, you have my undying affection. In other words, I hope you enjoy life." Currently, the situation between William and Harry sounds absolutely terrible. While Vanity Fair reports that no trust is left between him and Harry, The Times quotes a friend of Prince William as saying, "Inside he's burning, and that the prince is not just going to roll over." William is reportedly concerned that the Sussexes will attempt some sort of stunt, further complicating matters. As reported by the Mail, William fears that unless Harry's visit is tightly scripted, he could steal the limelight by, for example, going on a walkabout in a deprived London borough with Meghan. Now, it seems that Charles wants the Sussexes back where he can see them for his coronation, while William is hesitant to allow them anywhere near the SWI postcode, much less Westminster Abbey. A growing gulf between Charles and William would be disastrous, so it is not enough that they might find a way to resolve their differences over the coronation. Another destabilizing and distracting family feud is the last thing the royal family needs right now. What with the recent revelations that Princess Margaret once dated Oswald Mosley and that Prince Andrew is in a WhatsApp group with Kim Jong-un, Bashar al-Assad, and Cheryl, formerly Cole. The Windsor horde that attends Kate's annual Christmas concert at the Abbey and the royal family's mutual retweeting and support of one another's philanthropic endeavours are just two examples of how the royal family has gotten exceptionally good at putting on public displays of unity with one another in the years following Megxit. There has been a recent dip in public support for the working members of the royal family. It would behoove them to demonstrate some successes so that the public can stop worrying about which HRHs are busy sniping about one another and instead focus on the good they have done. On Thursday, for instance, it was reported that Charles had opened the doors to the castle of May and Dumfries House in Scotland, as well as his private country estate Highgrove, so that locals could go there if they were having trouble making ends meet due to the cost of living crisis. Putting aside the logistics, if Charles and William were to have a real falling out, it would further damage the monarchy's already tarnished reputation. The king should serve as a symbol of national unity, not as a celebrity figurehead like Kris Jenner. Right now things seem to be holding together within the royal family, and two men are trying to convey an image of harmony, as Valentine Lowe, author of The Excellent Courtiers, recently told royal reporter Patricia Treble. There is currently calm between the king and his heir, Prince William, not least, perhaps, because they face a common problem in Harry. But as Lowe puts it, it won't last forever. Let the foreboding music begin.